Nigeria's national unity is a shaky ground. A new report has revealed a troubling decline in citizens' trust in government and institutions, scoring just 46.8% on the 2025 Social Cohesion Index. The findings were unveiled at the National Social Cohesion Dialogue in Abuja. A sobering reflection shows Nigeria is falling short of national unity. According to the African Polling Institute's latest survey, the country scored just 46.8% on the 2025 Nigerian Social Cohesion Index, well below the 50% benchmark for a cohesive society. At the National Social Cohesion Dialogue in Abuja, speakers painted a grim picture marked by widespread distrust in public institutions. The report shows 83% of Nigerians have little or no trust in President Tinubu's government, 80% distrust in the National Assembly, and 79% lack of confidence in the judiciary.
Nigerian Social Cohesion Research Project is a Ford Foundation research grant currently managed by Africa Polling Institute. In a nutshell, the concept of social cohesion refers to the willingness of citizens to cooperate and work together towards ensuring the survival and prosperity of the country. These two elements are important: the survival element and the prosperity element. However, for these two elements to be achieved, the country must work towards the well-being of its citizens, fight exclusion and marginalization.
Former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi stirred debate with a blunt message saying Nigerians are partly to blame for bad governance because they failed to hold the leaders accountable.
Is I don't believe what they are saying here. The elites are not the problem. The elites of Nigeria are not the problem of Nigeria. We are not up to 20,000 elites that are stealing Nigerian money. Okay, no problem. 100,000 elites. But you have 200 million Nigerians that can fight 100,000 men. And then you sit down in your house and you're complaining and grumbling. What makes you think that the elites will remove their hands from stealing? If all you do is sit down in your house and grumble and organize one small lecture on how you're feeling. Who told you the elites don't know how you're feeling? They know how you're feeling. They know you're not happy. If they don't know, you will not see them in their girlfriend's house after 6 p.m. You know why? Because they are running away from you. They are scared. But you are helpless, not because the elites want you to be helpless. You are helpless because you make yourself what? Helpless.
Some think tanks at the event warned that Nigeria's deepest divisions, religious and economic, threaten democracy and development.
The issue is not whether people are traveling across or leaving Nigeria, is what is their investment in the promise of Nigeria, and how intentional have we been about taking Nigeria from a neo-colonial nightmare that we call it into the promise of the future. We have over 371 different ethnic groups. Firstly, let's even, before we get to ethnic groups, 49.5% of Nigerians are women. Where do we put them? How do we treat half of our population in their engagement with the future? But I don't want to be negative, because negativity doesn't get us anywhere. I believe in appreciative inquiry, which is where do we go to and how do we get there?
The involvement of our own people, so to say. Over the years, we talk about leadership, we talk about accountability, but then how do we involve the people themselves? And here, I would like to speak from my own background as a mass communicator or development and strategic communicator. Do we actually communicate to people, or we dish out message to them? Because even the learned that we speak about have to be learned when they know. You need people to understand issues, to know that these are real issues, so that they can participate. But what we have today is, yes, of course, putting systems that probably are just there for nomenclature.
Have hope, but the conversation is a very interesting conversation. What it means is that our pathway to building national cohesion is a pathway that has challenges, but I also insist that challenges we can overcome them by deliberate action as citizens. So that's why I commend this event. I commend API for making sure that we are building on data, because there is an importance. It is really urgent to make what I call data driven decisions.
We need to look at the issue of education as be the fundamental key, because Asian Tigers in 1957 were able to address the issue of social cohesion around the Asian country, technology skills through their curriculum when they reform it, and they started with the children and they take it forward, and everybody sees himself as a citizen, not like a tribe or religion or something. So if we really want to address the issue of social cohesion in Nigeria, we need to really go back to education, review our curriculum, start with history, and start telling the children, irrespective of where you come from, citizen being first before even tribe, or maybe issues around the regional part of the country where someone came from.
Every nation is a social imagination. You have to construct it. All countries in the world have diversities, but what matters is how you turn diversity into advantage. So I think Nigeria's first job is to be clear-minded that we are one people, want to be one. Even people who are of the same ethno-religious, cultural identity can still be divided if they are not careful. So that's the first. Second is we need to, at the level of government, begin to be conscious of communications we put out in terms of not just verbal, but the things we do, how we treat the citizen, so that the Nigerian citizen have the notion that he's a Nigerian citizen. Our problem is not our diversity. Our problem is the mismanagement.
The API is urging the federal government to establish a National Cohesion Commission to restore unity and rebuild trust. The call now is for action, not just more talk. Aniti Patrick, Core TV News, Abuja.